Hello, this is the Roast Throsia, and I'm back again with another video. It's been a while since I've got one done, and I figured I ought to jump on and get one done right now because I have some time and the kids are still in bed. My wife's just left for work, so it makes it convenient and easy for me to get one done now. So before we get started, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. All these things help my videos out, help get them spread to more people, and helps increase my influence. And I would really like to be able to increase my influence. Now, so something that's been on my mind this week, and especially in the last few days, has been marriage and the bond in marriage and what it means and why we have it, why marriage is important, um, and why it is something that we should strive to obtain. So, um, for me, marriage is more than just a bond between me and my wife. It's a bond between me, my wife, and God. And this is pretty important. And one of the reasons that this came up is because um, Lauren Southern did a video where she was debating with a um, a guy that um, is um, so there's kind of a movement of sorts that where men are basically just fed up with women basically, and so they need to have their, and these guys are, they're kind of an extremist in one way. They're kind of like male feminists, only instead of being feminists, they're malists or whatever you want to call them. So anyways, they are more pushing, okay, men are getting their rights taken away. Men are starting to get suppressed and kicked to the side. They're being refused they're being refused their basic needs by women. Um, Women are being really toxic towards them, and women are just being so toxic that men can't really live with them at all. And so marriage isn't an institution that's worthwhile because men are basically giving up a lot of what they have because um, men's rights aren't really all that protected in marriage. Women are actually given, they do have some good points, like when there's custody battles in divorces, things like that, then men actually have a very big disadvantage in a custody battle when um, when there's a divorce. And also, as far as money, they're actually are actually at a disadvantage in divorce court in general. Men have a disadvantage. Women have a major advantage in divorce court, whereas men are heavily disadvantaged. And I do think that they have a good point there. But the one of the things that I realized is they didn't see marriage the same way I do. Neither Lauren Southern nor this other guy that she was um, debating with seemed to really understand the third person in a marriage, because that third person is God. And so that's the thing. Each person in the marriage has a role, and each one has a commitment to the other two. And if you both have a commitment to God and you also have a commitment to each other, then and then God, of course, will have a commitment to you. I mean, He's always willing to make commitments to help you um, with whatever you need. whether it's marriage or anything else. So, but God's role is basically He is trying to keep your marriage on track and keep you both helping each other. So, in a marriage, it's designed for you to be helping each other, for you to be uplifting and building each other. And if either one of you stop working in that marriage towards helping the other person, then your marriage is likely to fail. Now, if, and God will never stop trying to help you, either one of you, as long as you're willing to accept his help. If you're not going to accept his help, then obviously he's not going to be able to help you because you're not going to accept it. But so it's just that God is a very important part of that marriage. So, and then there are different roles for men and women in marriage, and these roles can be changed or can be shifted from one person to the other. Like a man doesn't necessarily have to be the breadwinner, but oftentimes it is easier and better for the man to be a breadwinner. It's not that it must be that way. It's just that that's often the case, that it's often better that way because men actually excel in the workforce more than women do. They're more competitive, and that helps them go after the raises, go after the promotions and things like that in a work environment, whereas women are less inclined to do that. It's not that they won't do that, it's just that they're less inclined to do that. And then women tend to be better at nurturing, especially if there's children in the marriage. Women tends to be better at nurturing and taking care of the kids. Now, that doesn't mean that a guy can't take care of the kids. It doesn't mean that the guy can't be the nurturing one. It just means that a woman is more naturally geared towards that role. And sometimes there are couples where the man is actually more geared towards the nurturing and the woman's more geared toward competing in the workforce. And so maybe those roles switch. And there's a dozen other different roles in between men and women where women are more naturally geared towards one role and men are more naturally geared to a different role, such as in protection. Men are more geared toward the protective role in a marriage. So anyways, there's a lot of different things, and I'll link the video down below for that, but I'm going to try and clean up. See, my daughter's right here. She's coming to give me hugs. She just woke up. So I'm going to try and wrap this up. But anyway, I just was thinking about marriage and how it is an important thing in our lives today. Marriage is important to engage in, and it is important to do it right. And to do it right, both man and woman have to be in the marriage, and they both have to commit themselves, not just to each other, but also commit to God. That is one of the things. And if you don't believe in God, there is still ways to do it, but it makes it a lot more difficult if you don't have God in that relationship, because God helps to center you on particular values. So if you don't have God in the relationship, then what you have to do is you have to make sure that that relationship is committed to the other person, fully and completely committed to the other person. You have to be actually more interested in their success than your own success most of the time. And that is what will help build a strong relationship and keep your relationship together long term. For me and my wife, when we went to get married, I basically told her right off when we were starting to consider marriage, I told her right off, if we get married, Divorce is just not on the table. It is just not an option. If we are frustrated, if we have problems with each other, that means that we need to get together and we need to work those out. Divorce is never an option. It's never a way that we can go. I didn't get married to get divorced, and I'm not going to get divorced. That's what I was committed to, and I made sure that she understood that that was part of the commitment that I was making, and she and if she hadn't accepted that as part of the commitment for marriage, then we wouldn't have got married. It's just that simple. I would not have married her if she would not have agreed that divorce needs to be completely taken off the table. It's just not an option. It's not something that can be thrown into the deal. I said I will be fully committed to you, but I want you to be fully committed to me, so that we don't have that option of being divorced. And that's just one of the easiest and best ways to deal with that issue, is simply take it off the table. Now, if one of us ended up being abusive in the relationship, that changes things quite a bit, because we're no longer committed to the other person. We've already broken our commitment to the other person, and to making sure that the other person is built up instead of tore down. So if you're committed to the other person and you take divorce off the table, then you will be able to have a nice and long-lasting marriage that turns out to be a good and positive force, with two people working towards the betterment of both of you. And so you'll both increase. You'll both be able to do a lot better. You'll both be able to thrive in your environment. So anyway, that's my video for today. So remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below and tell me what you think about marriage, or maybe how long you've been married, or or what you want and what you think is a good thing for marriage. What helps to build and strengthen a marriage and make it last a long time. I would love to hear all of your comments. So thanks for watching. This is the Roach Throw Shit, and I will see you in the next video.